Welcome back to part 8, the final series of the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast before we rebrand in January 7th. And I'm so excited to share more about that with you. But until then, this is a beautiful love letter, a heartfelt recognition and remembering of what we've created over the past 6 years. If you're new here, welcome. Join us as we review and reflect on all the beautiful parts that have created this amazing community. And all of these experiences have led into what is next for us, the new evolution in the best way possible. And yeah, I'm Megan Waldrep. I'm stoked to have you. And today we're going to talk about the question that every POCF asks at some point. Why the F did they do this? What's happening? So here's number 8 of 9 things to know when dating a commercial fisherman. Number 8, when you date a commercial fisherman, you'll wonder why they go through all the trouble for this kind of work, especially since they won't know how much they'll make until the end of the season. It's such a gamble, you think. Why put yourself in an uncertain position, you'll say. Then you'll remember you're a freelance writer and you essentially do the same thing. I remember being like, why do you do this? This is so intense. And a couple episodes ago, I mentioned that I asked that of my brother-in-law, who's also a fisherman and fished with my husband, and his wife, my sister-in-law, said, well, because it's a great way to possibly get a big amount of money, a big chunk of money in a short amount of time. And it's great if if you don't go to college, this is a great way to potentially make a lot of income. I thought, okay, well, that's tangible. I get it. But it was the beginning of, wait, why are you doing this? Like, all you do is talk about fishing, but a lot of the times when you're talking to other fishermen, you're talking about how effing hard it is. And so you're going into unpredictable, high-risk environments. You don't know what you're going to get paid until the season's over. That blew my mind. And what if the fish don't show up? You don't get paid. Or what if the season gets canceled? It always blew my mind that fishermen, especially in Bristol Bay, Alaska, I guess any fishery, really, you don't know how much you're going to get paid for your catch until you pull the boat up to the dock and your buyer tells you. So in Bristol Bay, they don't know until the end of the season, after they've been working their asses off for weeks, months even. They don't know what the price is going to be until the very end, which is nuts. And it's such a gamble every single time. So I ask, why do you put yourself through this? Why choose uncertainty? Why choose danger? Why choose uncertainty and why choose danger? And the answers were never simple. It's because fishing isn't just a job, it's a calling, it's a craft, and it's a connection to nature most people would never experience. And it's a life built on grit, intuition, and wild freedom. Wild freedom, right? That is the ultimate. And that is really what you sign up for when you start to date someone in an industry like this. You are along for that journey, and you are a part of that journey deeply, more than you ever thought. And really, if you are an entrepreneur, you get this. That's what I was saying. Like, when I realized, oh, wait, I'm a freelance writer and I'm essentially doing the same thing, hoping that I find a new writing gig that'll pay me to help pay my bills. And that was a huge part of my life. But why did I do it? Because I freaking loved it. It was my passion. And that's why fishermen do it. They're entrepreneurs, they're risk takers, they're stewards of the ocean, and they're hopeful realists. And they thrive on the edge of your seat type of space that's between this could be incredible and, oh, this could be brutal. And that's where it clicked for me. It was, they would rather take a risk for something they believe in than play it safe. I'm going to start over. They would rather take a risk for something they believe in than play it safe doing something that drains their soul. Boom. And that's how I felt about writing. And that's where I felt about creating any of the spaces, is that I'd rather do something that I believe in, which for the past 6 years has been my heart and soul, the Partners of Commercial Fishermen, than do something that drains my soul. I want to be there. I wanted to be there, and I have been. And I'm so thankful that you've allowed me to be there, to create this space for us to have this community. And it has been beautiful. And I feel that we have spoken deeply, inside and out, sideways, who knows, everything, all the ways that you can talk about commercial fishing. We've done it. And I'm so excited to evolve our conversations into something deeper and more real that feels more true to me, but also feels more true to women, and the women that I connect with, the women that I see in you, the strong women that are out there that just want a space to feel like themselves, to reconnect with themselves. And that kind of passion is what's kept me going. And that's kind of passion that's helped my husband go for over 25 years with fishing, is he loves the outdoors and the ocean. It's that wild adventure. And isn't that what, if you're an entrepreneur, isn't that the same type of thing? If you're a professional, it's that adventure of what this career could mean for you, what kind of personal development you will have because of this career. So you want to pour your energy into something that fills your heart. And even if it's 24/7 thing, if you're an entrepreneur, it's 24/7. If you're working with the fishing business, it's 24/7. You're thinking about it all the time. And if you're building a life with someone whose heart beats for the wild, that's both thrilling and terrifying. But maybe that's also what drew you to them. That spark, that drive, and that bravery. I know when Chris was talking about what he did, I thought it was so sexy that he was just so driven and had such an incredible work ethic and could do also any kind of chore around the house and not think twice. He does all kinds of projects, and it's just so neat to see that he loves projects. He loves building things. He loves creating things, small scale, large scale. But I'm like, damn, that's hot. But then, of course, sometimes the one thing that you love about them is also something that you're get annoyed with, and that's how it goes. But it's like, okay, but that's true for us too. I mean, maybe you're a little bit like that too. Maybe that's why, you saw yourself in them and they saw themselves in you. And that's what brought you together to build a future together. And commercial fishing, especially, is the last frontier. Your partnership in this space, it reflects a great love and the great love stories and the great adventures of those who had pioneered into new worlds. Think about it. Fishing hasn't changed that much. It really hasn't. It's the same. You're still out on the water in a boat, dealing with weather, hoping that the fish come, and the women and the families are on shore, serving that community as well, waiting for their loved ones to return. How much time do you spend worrying about what could happen out there? What could happen in the unpredictable nature of the ocean? We spend so much energy worrying about the people we love when they're on the water. And that's why having the right safety gear matters. Kent Safety Products makes Coast Guard approved PFDs and flotation gear trusted by commercial fishing families for generations. It's comfortable, durable, and made for real life on the water, from the fishing grounds to family boating days. Because when we trust the gear that keeps them safe, we can spend less energy worrying and more time enjoying the moments that matter. Visit KentSafetyProducts.com to find the right gear for your crew. That's KentSafetyProducts.com. That connection is the tide that binds. And even if your career changes or your path unfolds in a different direction, that energy will always be inside of you, because identity in this lifestyle doesn't just disappear when the boat sells or the season ends. It evolves. And like I've mentioned before, many partners of commercial fishermen and also partners in different industries, they continue to make real impact long after that career changes, that fisherman leaves the dock. I mean, you run fish markets, sitting on boards, advocating at local council meetings, making sure the industry and our coastal communities continue to thrive. Our roles shift, but the heart of who we are stays rooted in this world. And I was reminded of that recently. It was in September. I was at the Ocean Innovation Conference in Wilmington, North Carolina. And it was just one day, before we announced that the boat was being sold. And I sat on a panel speaking about the Partners of Commercial Fishermen community and still representing the life that shaped me while quietly knowing that a big transition was already underway. But that experience made something very clear to me. Even when your role changes, you can still show up. You still belong, and you still make a difference. Mic drop. Just want you to know. But even this is the thing. You don't have to be on a stage to make a difference. You can do it when you're talking to people about your lifestyle. So let's say you're at yoga or you're at a running club or a book club and people are asking, oh, what do you do? Or blah, blah, blah. And then you just kind of casually share about your daily life. It really gives people an insight into what it takes to produce wild-caught seafood or what kind of challenges are there for the partners in any kind of industry, but especially commercial fishing. If you share your life with people in a casual way, it's not like you have to shove it down their throat, but they're going to feel connected because they love you and they feel connected to you. And so that's going to influence the way that they buy, the way that they eat, the way that they move around the world, and have more of a respect for this type of community that they never knew existed. You don't have to have a stage. Your stage is just talking to another person. Your stage can be on social media if you want to share a quick pic of your partner and anything like that, or the boat, or your kids waiting for them at the dock, whatever it is. These are all huge advocacy points that seem very small, but they do make a huge difference. So just know that even when your role changes, you can still show up, you still belong, and you still make a difference. Loving a fisherman and loving someone who chooses uncertainty for the sake of passion and purpose is a wild adventure. And when you stay long enough, that courage rubs off on you. And your love rubs off on them, because you're building a life that is not ordinary. It's bold, it's real, and it's full of heart. And if the ups and downs start to wear on you a little bit, you're totally normal. Don't worry. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be in commercial fishing. You could be in any industry or any job or family, whatever it is. That happens. That's how we learn. It's these ups and downs. And if you need get by with a little help from your friends, I created the Calm Compass. It's a free guide, has simple breath techniques and simple ways to check in with yourself to feel less stressed and more grounded in the moment. And it's not some huge drawn out hours of meditation to do it. You can do it in less than a minute. I love these. So you can find it in the show notes or at meganwaldrep.com/newsletter. And I can't believe this is week 8, second to the last series. The series has been a celebration of where it all began and a shift into what's next for us all. Because on January 7th, this podcast is going to be known as the Megan Waldrep Podcast. Honestly, I'm going to be sharing things that I don't talk to my closest friends about, because we have known each other for so long in different iterations of our lives and our evolutions as women, that there's some parts of my life that I don't share with them because I know that they might not see on the same level, and that's totally fine. Or if we have these conversations, you learn a lot from each other because of them. But sometimes, friends don't want to go that deep, but I love going deep because that's where the magic happens. And that's where we can ask real, true questions to kind of understand who we are as women. And that's where it starts. All of this, the whole life that you're living right now, whatever is going on in your life, it begins with you, your health, your safety in your own body. That is the most important component of anything all the time. Number one, you, always number one, then others. But you are a sacred person. You are a part of the divine. You're a part of that larger consciousness, whatever you believe that bigger energy source is, that is a part of you. So when you honor yourself, you're honoring that bigger force, that higher power, that inner knowing, that guidance. That is you all day long. Just know that this conversation will continue in the new podcast. It's not a pressure to fix yourself. It's just good company, honest talk, and a space to feel like yourself again. Gentle reminders to trust your inner guide and reconnect to what you already know is true. And don't let anybody tell you diff, okay? Don't let anybody tell you differently than what you know in your heart to be true, because that is always the right answer. Because sometimes the most healing thing you can do is take a break, tune in, and remember that you're already doing better than you think. The podcast name changes, but the connection stays. The journey evolves. Let's walk alongside each other through it. Thank you all for listening with love and so much gratitude. Can't believe I'm saying it, but I'll see you next week for the final part 9 of the series, the POCF Origin series. Until then.